Hey guys, I am here today with this. This is the 2025 Ford Explorer. Let's get into it. So as you guys can probably tell, I am not in Southern California. I am actually in Connecticut, which is where I am from. And I'm here visiting some family, and Ford was nice enough to move my loan to this side of the country, which honestly turned out to be the greatest thing because I really got to experience what this thing is like in cold weather. And let me tell you, I put it to its test. Let me show you more. It's not necessarily the newest and shiniest Ford model out there. Everybody's so busy talking about the Mach-E and the Bronco that they may have forgotten one of America's best-selling SUVs of all time, right? But I'll tell you, I rediscovered this car and had a wonderful time driving it, and there are some really great things that I want to point out, and a couple things that could still be improved upon. Let me tell you more. Under the hood, we've got a 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine. It's just very exciting how cheap the gas is out here. I got into this car thinking, all right, it's a big SUV. I'm going to be driving in and out of the country's busiest city and into the country where it's going to snow. This is going to be awful. That was my expectation. So I had my expectations though, but let me tell you, I had to maneuver through some tricky situations in this vehicle, and I was impressed about how this big car didn't feel big when I was behind the wheel, which to me is always the mark of excellent maneuverability. As for the drive itself, it's got the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, which traditionally I found to be a little underpowered for a car this size. I was really impressed with it this time though. I found that I had adequate power. This isn't even the ST trim. And I had enough power to get me in and out of the city, to keep up with New York drivers, but smooth enough for me to enjoy Connecticut roads, which was really nice. Listen, are you gonna win any races in this car? No, you're not. But for most of us, that's not what you're looking for. There are a few things that are new for 2025 in the Explorer. So let's talk through those briefly. Number one, they redid the interior. It's really beautiful. I will show you a bit more about that in a sec. It feels huge in here, which is wonderful. Two, there are more available features at a lower price point, which is awesome. Three, Blue Cruise, which I use. Let me show you a little bit of that footage in a minute, but I really enjoyed that, to be honest. And then they did some changes to the exterior. If you are interested in this vehicle, considering, oh, I'll wait for 2026, what I hear is that for 2026, all they're going to do is change the grille and some stuff on the outside. They're not going to make any changes to the powertrain or interior, so keep that in mind. And it might be a good time to get a good deal on 2025. The driver's seat. I really like this interface. I think this screen is a little funky, but everything worked really, really well. You've got a digital dash now, which again is new for 2025. Also shows some footage. The charger for your cell phone is very well placed in this and has a nice balance between buttons and touchscreen, which for me is always the holy grail. Your front passenger also has a place to put their phone, which I thought was very luxurious and respectful. It's got fixed cup holders, which is something that always annoys me, but whatever. In general, I thought the interface was fantastic in this car. Also new for 2025 is this 10-way driver's seat. And there's heating in the 2 front seats, which is really nice. There is tremendous maneuverability in this seat, which I found was great because it is a really big seat. So if you're a larger person, you've got a lot of flexibility to make this comfortable for you. Also, if you're a smaller person, you also have a lot of flexibility to make this, you know, not feel so enormous. I like it. Okay, rear seat. Love it. I love sitting back here. I think this is great. You've got some adjustability. It's manual adjustability, but whatever. That is really nice. I've got the way back down, the 3rd row. This is incredibly comfortable. Again, these are captain's chairs, right? So we don't have the middle seat here, but man, this is really nice. We've got 2 chargers back here. We've got an AC plug, and you can also control the climate back here, which is nice. I've got a vent, I've got a hook and a light. I've also got a cup holder here. You've got those sort of bottle holders on the door, which is good. This also has the built-in window shades. And then you've got, of course, like a little pocket right here. This is very nice. Let me show you the 3rd row. For your reference, I am 5'6", which is a little taller than the average woman. So let me show you how easy or hard it is to get into the 3rd row. So here I am, stepping back here. All right, okay, not impossible. Do I have leg room? Not essentially, unless this guy pulls his seat forward, which he can do, which is fine. This does have a headrest, which is really nice. And then you've got a sort of de facto armrest here, a place to put stuff. There's a cup holder here, as well as vents in the 3rd row. I get really excited when there are vents in the 3rd row because if you've ever been a passenger in the 3rd row, you know how important that is. And again, the other seat can go up, but that's a button that is over here. I'll show you that in a minute when I turn the car on. All right, so yes, evidence of my adventures here. This thing is filthy. I can't find a car wash in Connecticut. I don't know if you guys can, but that's a whole other story. So the back end, let me show you this. This is when you really realize how much car you're getting for your money here with the Explorer. So you can open it with your remote. Snazzy. And then there is a split in the 3rd row here, but you can put them up or down using these buttons right here, which is great. So this is just with the 3rd. Sorry, I kept it down too long and it came back up. This is just with the 3rd row down. Remember that, right? So that is giving you an enormous amount of room. And then you've got your whole 2nd row, which you can put down, which is great. Under here, I've got a little place to store stuff, which is actually really nice if you're going somewhere and you don't want to have your purse or whatever, something valuable, visible. But listen, you golf players are going to be excited because there's plenty of room for clubs back here. Yeah, wow. It's a lot of car for the money. A few other things I liked in this car, the cameras. It's funny because the bird's eye camera was amazing. The backup camera, meh, not so amazing, but it did the trick, which is fine. I said before, the sound system, this B&O sound system was fantastic. Apple CarPlay, thank you. Wireless, amazing, so good, and just really is a game changer. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I really enjoyed the Blue Cruise. Things I liked less in the Ford Explorer. I didn't think the visibility was that fantastic for a vehicle of this size. I did really think the sensors were great, like the blind spot warning system worked really, really well as the sensors while I parked it. As maneuverable as the car was when I was driving, it was less exciting when I was going to park, but I believe that is something that most of you excellent drivers will get used to. So what's the verdict? Listen, people love this car. I have a friend that just was about to trade, was like, oh, I'm thinking about trading in my Ford Explorer. And I was like, what are you gonna get? And he was like, another Ford Explorer. And I was like, oh, come on, have a little adventure. But you know what? I realized why you would. There's just so much bang for the buck with this vehicle, and if it's a car you love, it just keeps getting better, so why switch? Is it for everybody? Not necessarily, but boy, there is a lot to love about the 2025 Ford Explorer. So there you have it, 2025 Ford Explorer. I'm Motorhead Mama. Thank you so much for watching, and please press that subscribe button.